Hello there, my deep thinkers, and welcome back with me, Dr. Monica Nicole. Here is a channel where we get deep into those conversations that are not just surface level because sometimes it really is that deep, my love. It really is that deep. And so, in today's conversation, I'm going to be sharing with you all a big mistake that I made in business. And I know this is a mistake that not only I made in business, but I know others have made within business as well. So, this is for a conversation for those of you all, whether you're just starting out or you've been in this thing for a while and you're kind of wondering what's going on? Why isn't this moving? Why am I having an issue with this? Why am I attracting these types of customers? This is going to be the video for you. Now, if you're not an entrepreneur and you're kicking it with us, I want to let you know you may find yourself either getting triggered from this conversation or you may find yourself becoming inspired by this conversation. But I always like to say when we're triggered, that's giving us an opportunity to identify where our personal subconscious wound is at so that we can go in and nurture it, shift it, and do whatever is needed for us to experience something different. And so, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. If you are subscribed to the channel and you're interested in extra content, conversations, things of that nature, or to just support the channel, consider becoming a paid subscriber here on the channel. The button will be down below next to the subscription area. And then also check the pinned comment for all of my links for my services, my consultations, and products. So let's get into one of the biggest mistakes that I made in business when I was starting off. Because this is something that, especially those who are in helping professions, those who have a heart, those who really care about people, they wonder why they find themselves being in this rat race or not really, it's hard to make money or it's hard to attract clients, things of that nature, or you do have clients and you still find yourself scraping to get by, right? This is for you. This is one of those conversations that is very uncomfortable for many people to have, for them to be able to engage in, because when we're talking about money, a lot of people tense up. And a lot of that is because many people have money contracts that are subconsciously literally carrying them. And it's very much so responsible to a lot of where they're at within life. And our personal money contracts also affect how we make money. Okay. And so the biggest thing that stops many of us or affect many of us within business is that we are trying to sell to broke people. Now that may have came out harshly. Like I said, some people may find themselves being triggered. Some people may find themselves being motivated. And some of you all are going to have a light bulb that goes off in this conversation. Because what do I mean by trying to sell to broke people? Okay. um when you start off in your business, you think about, okay, well, what's something that everyone will buy? What's something that a price that everyone will pay? You're already discounting yourself based off of what you think everyone else would do. But one thing you have to get into the structure, the foundation, the subconscious realization of is that you attract the energy of what you are. You create the environment. And so what many people do, they come out, they try to price their services in a way where they want to be accessible to everyone to the point where no one buys. Because what you need to understand is that those who are in a survival or a broke mentality, they're going to have a totally different mindset than those who have money to spend. That's one of the realities that we have to accept when we're looking at the psychology of people. That's why oftentimes those who are broke or have a hard time making money, they stay in that position because their mindsets of how they approach things, how they approach life, they're less likely to invest in things because they're afraid of losing things. Those who have more money, they're more open to spend money. They're more open to invest money because they understand it's a cycle that they have to participate in, and it's a part of the flow. It's a part of the give and takes of life in general. So when you're selling to broke individuals, you got to look at how you show up. Are you showing up as a teacher or are you showing up as a guide? Are you showing up as someone who you're always over explaining yourself, or are you coming in as if you are sure of who you are? Because there's a certain language that each group connects to. Okay. It's all a part of psychology. So, one of the biggest things is your pricing. I remember reading something somewhere and they were saying, I just don't understand the need for if I go over here to this area in town to get the same nail set as $200, I can get that for $30 over here on this side of town. And that's not worth it. You need to understand that they pay for the environment and the access. They will pay more because they don't want to be accessed by everyone. They understand energy, they understand attraction, they understand what you are connected to. I have a video here on the channel about us being an average of the five people basically of who we're surrounding to and the energies around us. That's one of the things you're going to find. Those with money, they pay for the access, they pay for the exclusivity. They love the fact that they have access to something that everyone is not easy for them to access. Okay. So, one of the big problems that people run into within their business is that they don't price themselves at their worth. They price themselves at what they think people will buy. And oftentimes, when they do that, their pricing get much lower because they're thinking about people who don't have the money and the resources. But what you need to understand is that those who lack in money and resources, they're less likely to invest in their growth. Until they change their mindset, until they change their habits, until they change how they go about and view the world around them. I was reading something somewhere where they made a comment and they said, my clients that are coming in to buy a $30,000 car, they barely even ask to test drive it. They come in, they know that they want to buy it. My clients is coming in to buy a used 2500 car. They're asking all the questions. They're asking if it comes with an extended warranty, if it has this, if it has this, if it has that. And one thing I came to find is that certain clients are harder to work with because you have to think people who have money, they're usually more decisive. They come in, they know what they want. They're coming in, they know what they want, they know what they need. They just need to know if you have it. You don't need to waste your time, all this other jazz trying to over explain to them why this function is better and why this car is better and what makes this. They don't care about all that. Do you have what they need? Do you have what they want? Okay, cool. Let's get the paperwork going because time is money. Energy is money. And you have to realize that broke people do broke people shit. Now, if that triggered you, like I said, this video may trigger some. You need to look at your mentality, your mindset of where you're at, how you're viewing life, how you're viewing everything around you, because money is simply energy. It's a representation of energy and it can change, it can shift. But you also have to be willing to shift. You also have to be willing to change. You also have to be willing to go about things differently. So, this is why you may find a lot of people when they say, I raised my prices and people still paid that price. But what changed with them raising their price was the language that they used, was the conversations that they had with that price, was the level of confidence in how they showed up. One thing you need to understand is that you're not going to be able to pay for and do everything with a $25 service, baby. Oh, well, I want to be able to give back and help other people. Your best bet is to charge premium prices and then donate your time and energy back to those who need extra support. So I won't just be giving away my 101 consultations for dirt cheap, but I have my YouTube channel. That's me donating my time and my energy back. You get what I'm saying? Because that takes time, that takes energy. 1 hour of my time is a minimum of $200. So, in that, As a business owner, you have to really look at what are your ultimate goals. You have to price backwards, because if not, you're going to find yourself burning out. You're going to find yourself being overwhelmed, overconsumed, and then now you don't even have the energy for yourself when you have time off and you're back into the hustle culture. Stop trying to sell to broke people. Stop trying to over explain yourself. Stop trying to show all these features, and you're basically trying to convince someone as to why you're worth it. But what you need to understand is that people with money don't give a fuck about none of that. Do you have the solution to the problem that I have? Cool. Let's talk about that. I don't need you to tell me about the problem. I don't need you to tell me how this is. I already know how it's affecting me. I already know this is a problem that I have. I need the solution. Then, how are you showing up? Is your energy showing up in a way for those with money, they will be attracted to you? Because, like I said, our energy is currency. Us making money, it's all an energy. Money in itself is an energy. We attract the energy of who we are internally and subconsciously. And why is that? Is because how we think of ourselves is how we show up in the world. So if you have a worth wound, a self-worth wound, um, an insecurity wound, that's going to show up in how you show up in the world. That's going to show up in how you market yourself. That's going to show up in how you talk about yourself and how you talk to other people. It's going to leak out like a cup with holes in it. You can't hide it because it becomes a part of you. It becomes ingrained inside of you. So, for those of you all who are business owners, or you're an aspiring business owner and you're going into business to make money, okay? Stop trying to sell to broke people. It's time to learn how to sell to people who have money. What is the thing that you're solving? And these are the things that I talk about with my members in the Butterfly Effect School of Transformation with my classes that I have. These are the things that I talk about within my one on one consultation sessions, where we go over what is it that is really affecting you? What is really getting in the way of what you got going on? And I'm actually tailoring now my one on one consultations to a particular topic of helping people get through that worth wound to be able to attract and make more money, because it's time to be more specific. And I've also created a quiz for those of you all who are interested in seeing what is currently blocking and affecting your ability to make more money, to attract more money, so that you can start that process of fixing it, healing it. Okay. And it's okay to shift how you need to shift without feeling guilty about it, because you're going to find yourself doing all the heavy lifting when you're attracting the wrong client. Those are the clients who they take up most of your time. They're asking all these questions. They're trying to do chargebacks and all this other jazz. People with money don't got time to do that. Unless it's a contract or something that's like $1,000 or so, and they literally didn't get what they paid for, or whatever the case is, they're not going to waste their time to do all of that. They have other things to focus on. And they understand that energetically, that's going to come back to them. So I say this to say, and I want you to ask yourself, are you trying to sell and market to people who can't even pay for what you're offering? And if so, are you ready to start shifting that? I thank you all for joining me in this conversation today. And like I always say, baby, sometimes it really is that deep. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in the waves of everything to the point where you overlook what's really going on below the surface, because sometimes it really is that deep. I thank you all for being here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Check out my membership area and check out my Butterfly Effect School of Transformation. Enrollment is still open until the end of this month. This upcoming semester, we're going into, for those who are ready to create their own communities, who are ready to create their own classes, things of that nature, going into coaching. This is the semester for you. And you also have access to all of my previous classes, all of my previous hypnotherapy sessions, past life regression sessions as well, to help you in the shifting areas that you need the most. So definitely check that out down below and get enrolled while you still can. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.